Hello, Taurus, and a very warm welcome to your 2021-22 forecast. Another big year is ahead of us. Certainly 2020 was the turning point year. And this year, of course, is filled with some pretty powerful aspects, but we are more in the swing of things now. I think you'll find that you'll be able to move more easily as this new year begins, especially as on the 7th of January, for you lovely Taureans, Mars finally moves out of your 12th house, where it's been for months now, and comes into your sign, into your first house, joining Uranus. It's going to be there until the first week of March. This gives you a boost of energy. It's a time now this year to say, right, I may have been stuck, I may have been stagnant, things might not have been moving, but now I'm going to move. Whether everything around me is moving or not, I am going to take the initiative. This is time to just break through anything that you've been sitting on, thinking about, procrastinating about. This Mars will just give you a boost. It's wonderful. You're going to feel almost as if you've been let free. It's like, wow, I can move. I'm free again. Now, you might not feel as free as you'd like to if there are still lockdowns and things going on. Of course, we don't know that. And at the time of recording this, I don't know that. But I would imagine that things are still going to be, shall we say, quite difficult in certain countries around the world, at least for a while. But this Mars gives you forward momentum as we begin this year. So Taureans, the most important aspect astrologically that's around pretty much all the year, strongest between February and July of this year, and then again November, December time. But nonetheless, it's within orb of a square pretty much all year between Uranus in Taurus in your sign, square to Saturn in Aquarius, from your first house to your 10th house. So many of you, I think, are maybe looking at, I want to change my career. I want to change what I do in this world. I want to be freer. I want to be more fluid. I don't want to be so tied down. So I think many of you will be considering breaking out of a particular career path that you might have been on. You might say, to hell with it, I'm moving on. It's time to move on. Or you may say, okay, I'm going to stick it through, but for this amount of time. This Uranus in your sign is again encouraging you lovely Taureans to make sure you're not stuck in a rut. It's difficult to be stuck in a rut at the moment with all these changes happening around us globally. But how can you shake it yourself up a little? How do you want to present yourself? How do you want to be seen? What are your New Year's resolutions? What do you want to accomplish this year? What do you want to see in your world? What do you want to contribute to the world? And this Saturn square to Uranus, we're going to be dealing with, on the wider global level, a lot of issues around personal freedoms and governmental controls. And this is going to be, it's in a square aspect. So when there's a square in fixed signs, neither one wants to give way. So Uranus in Taurus is saying, let's shake up the economy. Let's shake up everything to do with fashion. Let's shake up everything to do with values and what's important. And Saturn in Aquarius is saying, let's restrict certain freedoms. Let's restrict even freedoms of the internet may be restricted in some way. And there is going to be riots. There are going to be protests. So where do you need to protest within yourself where you are limiting yourself? Uranus in the first, it's about breaking out. And yes, Taureans, you keep reinventing yourselves. You're doing a great job. This is just another part of that process. So What is it you want to contribute to the world now as we move forward into an entirely new paradigm? What do you want to do in the world? And it may be something to do with a serious career or a serious business. It may also be to do with developing talents of yours and making them into a career. And if you don't have a career and if you're retired, it's still, where is your light? What do you want to shine in this world for this new year? It's a power year, and it's a year where you've got to somehow squares in fixed size. It's like you've got to unstick yourself. If you're sticking yourself somewhere, you have to literally uproot yourself and say, okay, I'm ready to move. What's the universe calling for? What does my soul want? Where do I need to trust in the flow of life? On May, so we've got Jupiter and Saturn in this 10th house for much of the year. On May the 15th until the end of July, Jupiter joining Neptune, this is a lovely aspect, in your 11th house. This is wonderful for meeting new people, for making soul connections, connecting up with your tribe, people that really feel, oh, you feel as though you're on a wavelength. You feel as though you're on a higher frequency. It's a beautiful aspect. You may meet people that you think, wow, I am so excited to be around these people. And it might be people that you're with physically, but it also may be with people you're online and joining these various communities. And you really feel as though you're raising the frequency to a whole new level. And you feel so nourished in these friendships. There's an opportunity for great love, great romance too. Beautiful aspect. And on July 28th, this comes back into this 10th house, joining Saturn here. So this is now encouraging you to maybe cooperate, collaborate with a group of people, a team of people, or one other person to create a new direction in your life. Now, the eclipses, they're going to be falling largely in the 2nd and 8th houses, the money houses. And on May the 29th, we have a lunar eclipse happening here in your 8th house. And on June the 10th, a solar eclipse in the 2nd house. It's the money area. So the lunar eclipse could be shining a light on something to do with investments, a partner's finances, something coming to a head, something that you need to look at financially. Maybe a pension, something looking towards the future, maybe taxes that need to be sorted out. And this lovely new moon solar eclipse on June the 10th is a wonderful opportunity for new beginnings to do with your finances, your income flow, perhaps a new business, a new idea, a new service, a new product, and also about you developing more of your gifts and talents and turning that into financial remuneration. On November the 19th, we've got a lunar eclipse happening in your sign, lovely Taurus. And on December the 4th, a solar eclipse again activating this 8th house. So the lunar eclipse for you, and the dates will be at the end of the video, so you can refer to them without having to scramble for notes. So the lunar eclipse, November the 19th, this is shining a light on you and saying, hey, what are your needs? What do you need now? Coming back to you, coming back into yourself, centering yourself, not allowing yourself to be pushed off center, but sticking to your values and what's important to you. And this lovely new moon solar eclipse on December the 4th could bring more intimacy in a relationship, a closeness in a relationship. It can bring you new opportunities financially. Somebody may be investing in you, or you working in a partnership together with somebody. Powerful energies. And you may find that relationships also get a shake-up because of all these planets here in this 1st house activated. You may find that you've changed so much, your relationships have to catch up with you. You may feel as though you're far ahead of some of the people you mix with. You might need to change your circle if you can. Upgrade it a little. So it's a fascinating year. It's filled with opportunity. You must take your initiative. You've got to move forward regardless. Don't let anybody else influence you. Just go. So I want to thank you for listening. Thank you to those of you who support this channel on Patreon. Thank you for liking, commenting, subbing. I hope you like now the stable board. I'm not holding it on my shoulder anymore. And much love to you. Bye for now.